You got to take the emotion out of it. Your objective is business at the end of the day, so you treat it as a business deal, and you don't get the emotion part involved because it's not adding value to the deal.
Hey, Gary Phelps, welcome to Icon Property Group TV, and where we share the latest news and happenings in terms of property, not only within the Icon brand, but on a national and even international level. And today I'm quite excited to have Dereline Montagna with me and Chulu. I want to get that name right. So Chulu Felu is with us. She's only been with the brand for about a month, but quite excited to have her on the podcast and just to share a little bit behind the scenes of what we do here and how that benefits our brokers and our clients and also our business associates. So we want to get right into it, and we're going to give over to Dereline just to tell us a little bit about herself and who she is, where she comes from, and so that you out there can get to know who this piece of art is, so to speak. So Dereline, over to you.
Thanks, Gary. It's very, very awesome to be on the show. Instead of just doing behind the scenes and the editing and the shooting of it, we're in front, on the forefront now at the moment. So, yes, as you said, I'm Dereline, and I am from Durban originally. So a little bit of my background: grew up on the beach, so moved from Durban to Cape Town. I studied photography at Vega, it's a private institute in Durban, and then I went on to ships for quite a few years, which was very interesting. Yes, I was a sailor, and there's much more to it than that, but I did a lot of photography as well. But yeah, and then after that, I settled down in Cape Town, and I did a couple of jobs. I worked for a real estate agency, and then I ended up at Icon Property Group. And so that's a little bit about me. I can talk a lot, so I'll try and keep it nice and short. But that's a little background of where I come from and what I've done and been up to over the last few years.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Chulu Felu, what a privilege to have you. Love your hairstyle. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. So you've only been with us for about a month, but enough about that. Tell the audience, who are you, where you from, what has led to this point of your journey?
So I'm Sulufelo Chilwane, and as Gary has mentioned, I've been with Icon Property for a month and a half now, almost going into my second month. And my journey to Icon has been quite interesting, but I think I found my place here. So a little bit of my background: I pursued theatre and art in Stellenbosch. So I'm trained as an actor, as a performer, as a practitioner, facilitator, all of those good things that have to come with stage and just live performances and live arts. And I've done a bit of film as well, in front of the camera. So this is not unfamiliar territory for me. So yes, although I do prefer being in front of an audience, yeah, that's a little bit of me and where I come from and how I fit in now into Icon as well. I work with Dereline in the marketing department, and I've always been interested in like transferable skills, because no one skill just fits one job. If you're very good at something, you can apply that in different industries or various interests that you have. So what about me as a person? What are the skills that I have as a person that don't only limit me to just stage and just performance, because life is long. Life is very long, and you don't want to get bored with the things that you do. You want to reinvent yourself, find new passions and interests. And this is when our Icon comes in, is, when opportunity meets preparation, just at the right spot where I'm like, well, I want to try something new now. I want to venture into a different industry, see if I can still, apply myself, apply my knowledge, apply my skill set in another industry. And so far it's been a great journey. I've grown a lot and I've expanded, and there's still room for so much more. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So Dereline, once again, second question. I mean, a lot of people are watching, they don't know what you do within the company. I mean, at one stage you were wearing like 20 hats, Now you're wearing, 10 hats, maybe. I mean, Chulufelo has been amazing in her taking over and so forth. But tell the people a little bit about what you do at Icon Property Group and maybe a quick summary of the last 2 years, for an example.
Okay, sure. So people will be able to see what I do because it's all online. So they won't see the face. I'm not the person in front of the camera. I'm not the person on the billboards or on the for sale boards. That's the stuff that I create. So one of the small things that I do is that I do the graphic design for Icon Property Group, whether it be for printing or for social media or for just any sort of media online. I do all that graphic design, and as I do all the photography, the videography, the drone footage. I help with the email signatures, setting up of emails. If the aircon's not working, sometimes I help with that too. Or if the printer's not working, I end up helping with that too because I'm automatically known as the IT person, but we have somebody for that. So I have learned a few IT things, I think, over the last few years, and it was a very interesting journey for me. I'll never forget the day that I started. Gary, you handed me this old laptop and you said, go. And I was thinking, all right, here we go. Let's just figure it out. And you were going from meeting to meeting and having one-on-ones, and I was dealing with existing orders and new people and new faces and new names, and I didn't have a choice, but I had to just jump on the train and go at the same speed. Otherwise I was going to get left behind. And I think that was a really good introduction because it just shows you what a fast-paced industry real estate is. It's not your normal 9 to 5. We say never a dull day in real estate because never do you have 1 day or 2 days that are the same. It's you can play. We were actually speaking this morning of how it was a runaround, and we like, you don't plan for the day plans for you. So
Yes.
you gotta be prepared for everything, and you can prepare all that you want, but there's always going to be a curveball that comes in somewhere. And I think it's a good thing to experience because you learn to handle everything and you learn to multitask. And it's something I wasn't very good at the beginning. And I think Icon has definitely taught me how to multitask. I didn't do it very well in the beginning. I'm not perfect at it, but I think I've come a long way. So yeah, that's a bit what I do at Icon, and it's been awesome. It's obviously it's my passion, and that's what I wanted to do. And I feel that it's a real help to a lot of the real estate agents because, let's be honest, not everybody wants to sit behind a computer and do graphic design or edit photos and video, but that's something I enjoy. And so for me to do it's not hard work at all.
That's amazing. Chulufelo, you come in about a month ago. You are an amazing assistant to Deraline.
Yeah.
Give us a quick 2-minute recap of the last month. And why do you say that? And I'm going to sort of, paraphrase a bit. You sort of found your people.
Well, just to answer that secondly, but with coming in a similar experience to Deraline, like here are the passwords, here are the platforms, go, just go, and
sounds about right.
Yes, and for any other person that would be quite challenging. Hold.
Thank God we're not live.
No. I'll just start over from the beginning.
For someone else, it might have been challenging, you said.
So for someone else, that might have been challenging to be just given all of the work or all of the things that have to be done, and they say run with it. But like I said when I was being interviewed by Gary, was that I'm someone who jumps in the deep end and learns how to swim. You had me exactly where you needed me to do the things that need to be done. Is how can I figure it out? And that's what working with Deraline is like, is that she's not on my neck, she's not on my case. She trusts that I can do the work she hands over to me. And it allows me the opportunity to figure it out if I cannot figure it out, because you only learn by solving problems. If it's a problem and you solve it, then you know how to apply yourself the next time instead of, arriving and this is how you do, this is step 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't really apply yourself. You're not stretched creatively. And in our department, we need to be creative all the time. It changes all the time. No 2 days are the same. So we always have to be on our feet thinking about how to creatively solve a problem or how to approach it from a different perspective or look at it differently. So it's great. It's a lot, but you need to be someone that's grounded. Always have to have both feet on the ground, because the moment one feet is hanging in the air, you will fall over. So
That's
yeah,
wonderful.
that's been my month so far. Is first of all, I'm taking on a new position in a new industry. It's real estate. I'm unfamiliar with real estate, but isn't that the whole point?
Yeah.
For someone my age, isn't that the whole point, to have people that give you that opportunity and that chance, and they see your willingness to learn and say, hey, let's give her a shot, actually. Let's see what she can do. And that icon is, let's see what you can do. Let's give you a shot. And it's been that for me this whole month and a half, and it's amazing. Yes.
Mm, mm, mm. I mean, Geraldine, that's also pretty much what you've done. You gave Icon a shot, not the other way around, because you came from a real estate company. You came into us. I mean, you just said, well, let me give this a shot. Well, obviously you were by far, I think you're just a great person to be around and work with. But Geraldine, what are some of the most significant challenges that you face working with real estate agents?
That everything must be complete by yesterday.
Okay, good.
Yeah, like I said, it's it's a 9 to 5 technically, but I think the most challenging thing is just to always be prepared for things you can't prepare for. I could have a full day, and right now, like, we had a cancellation or a rescheduling of a booking for a shoot, and I've planned my whole day around the specific things, so I've had to like reshuffle and replan my day. So always to be prepared for the unprepared, and I think that's been a good challenge to have, because like I said, no day is the same in real estate, and I think also having deadlines that are and multiple deadlines within a small amount of space, because you're not looking after one person. We're looking after 16, 12, 20 people, and that's their bread and butter. So they need stuff when they require marketing stuff, they require it yesterday. And so you understand the importance, because that's their bread and butter. And if they don't have the stuff that they need to market themselves, they're not going to be able to get what they need from their sale, because it's not going to sell. So yeah, I think that's been one of the biggest challenges and learning experiences for me at Icon.
Yeah. So you are saying, like, listen, it's their bread and butter. If you don't meet the deadlines, they're not going to be able to sell. There's a lot of agents watching this video right now. They don't have access to in-house photographer. They don't have a Chulufelu. They don't have a Geraldine in their life. And they may be saying, well, yes, I wish I had Geraldine and I wish I had Chulufelu. What value do you guys bring to the day-to-day business of a real estate agent, Geraldine?
Invaluable, actually, Gary. Like you said, it's not something that a lot of people offer. I mean, I don't even think I can count a handful of real estate agencies who have in-house photography. I mean, most real estate agencies, you have to either pay for your own photographer, or if the company says, okay, if you've got a sole exclusive mandate, we'll get the first 10 that come in. So you might have an agent who gets 8 of those, and another agent who just gets open mandates. And so they still have to then go and pay for their own photographer, or their own marketing, or their own admin. And so we have that support team here that supplies that to our estate agents, and it's not heard of in most places. So it's a huge weight off of their shoulders, because they know that they can rely fully on somebody who is brilliant at what they do department to run with it and run with their business in that department. So they can just focus on their sales. They don't have to worry about the admin. They don't have to worry about taking photos or editing photos or doing videos or doing recordings. Yes, when it comes to their social media, they need to be a bit more interactive, but we have those things planned for them as well. So it's not like they have to come up with this whole marketing strategy. We are here for that advice. If they need a strategy, they can come to us and say, this is what I want to do. How do I do it? Then we can sit with them and we can include whatever they want in their videos and give them a bit of guidance. And so, yeah, I think it's absolutely invaluable at what we do for our agents, and they are very fortunate to have that offered to them in-house.
Chilufelo, I mean, back over to you. What is some of your observations about the real estate sector in terms of just general observations that you never knew before, but since you've been here, you're like, oh, that's how that works, or oh, that's the situation. Give us some of those moments.
Something that happened this morning, just with Icon Property Group, we have various stores and locations. And because in our department, we deal with a lot of detail. There's so much information and small details that go into everything, like, you know, spelling of someone's name on a post and their phone number and their email and what location is where. And it doesn't seem, when it's out there, when you see it on social media or you see the marketing material, you don't think about those things, but it is very important. It's quite important, like location, how much something costs, all of those things, you know, it's information overload. Some days it truly is information overload. Darlene and I woke up at 1 a.m. at the same time because we were both scared that we missed something. On a Sunday, we wake up like, I think I missed a detail, or I missed, so there's something that I've missed in the department. And we come at the office and we're like, there is something missing. What is it? We've shown, and that's the thing where I don't know how to explain it, but your mind always has to be alert. And because it's real estate jargon, it's agents, it's locations, it's buyers, it's sellers, it's mandates, it's open house. So I apply it as though I'm working with a script in my background. Like, well, this is the area, this is the location, these are the characters there, they live in this neighborhood. And so how I make sense of it in my brain, but whoa, every single day it's new for me. But I wanted to comment on what Darlene was saying about the work that we do here for agents. I think what stands out to me is there's care. There's a whole lot of care that goes into it. The professionalism and the quality of the work is there. But in order for you to put out quality work, you have to be caring about the person you're doing the work for. And we care about the agents a lot. We care about the marketing material that we have to do, the design, Darlene, the design that she has to do for them. She really does care about them and puts attention to them. And if it's something they want to fix, like, oh, I didn't like that photograph, Darlene, can we change it again? She's willing and she will change it right then and then, sort it out for them. If it's a new idea that they have and they're scared to approach, they'll ask me and say, hey, I see Darlene is busy. I would like to have this, and this. And I'm saying, that's okay, we'll do it for you. And I'm going to go over and have a conversation with Darlene. Hey, this agent wants this, and that. And so there's a whole lot of care that goes into the work that we're doing, because we want to ensure that the agent's business or their business, how it is received in the world, is the best that it could be, so that they can only just focus on selling and focus on their business. And we worry about all of those little details that wake us up at 1 a.m. on a Sunday.
Amazing. That's amazing. Exactly. I mean, it is really in the detail. But you said something, Chilufelo, that you said, you know, there is care at Icon. Where does that come from? How did you come to that conclusion in less than a month and a half?
I come from a background where we work with people, and in our industries, you're either mistreated or you're treated well. right? Depending on the kind of pressure, the environment, the time frame that we're working with. So I've experienced both where it's an environment that is filled with care, and I've experienced when it's a hostile environment, when you are your own business, when you are your own free, like bread and butter, and it's coming from you. I've experienced both. And coming into Icon, my biggest fear was, I hope it's not another corporate environment where people just clock in, clock out, don't really care about the impact or the work that they do, because that's going to suck the life out of me. I want to be a part of a group of people that really do care about their work that they do and take it seriously, because then that sets the standard for me as well, and wanting to grow and improve every day. So from the moment I came in, it's not just Darylene that pays so much attention to her work in her department. It's front of house as well. It's in accounts, it's Gary, it's everyone that's involved in making Icon the environment that it is. They genuinely love their job and care about their work and want it to be the best that it is. So therefore, I cannot come in here any less than the standard that is set at Icon, which is very high. But a good high, an attainable high.
Exactly. Exactly. Darylene, I mean, I would like you guys to ask me also some questions. We've got about 7 minutes left. And I've asked this in the previous podcast, and I said a lot of people describe me as vulgar, as bullyish, as rude, as sexist, misogynist, a lot of kind of isms and schisms. I don't mind personally talking about it because I think there's a place for it and a time for it. I mean, you both are females. How do you find working with me, Darylene? And I mean, let's be honest, because I don't want people to think we've polished these bloody answers.
No, I think, well, for me, coming from working on ships, you know, I have worked with many different cultures, especially when you worked with Middle Eastern people or European people, you would think that they are rude, because we're so used to speaking one way and doing things one way. But when you've had the ability to travel and experience the world and experience culture, you understand that that's that person's way of communication and that's the only way that they know. And so we tend to get offended at times because it's the unknown and it's not what I'm used to. So you are a very strong character, and I think people can take that in the wrong way. They might think you're being arrogant or cocky, but you're very knowledgeable and you're a very strong character. And people get the two confused with being arrogant and rude. And so if you are strong character and you're knowledgeable, it might sound as arrogant or cocky, but I think people just also they get offended very quickly. And it's something that you've taught us very well, especially in the workplaces. You got to take the emotion out of it. Your objective is business at the end of the day, so you treat it as a business deal, you know, and you don't get the emotion part involved because it's not adding value to the deal. Obviously with our clients, you know, our agents are phenomenal with our clients because they want to treat them and get them to have the best experience. But when it comes to the mundane things, you've got to just withdraw from the emotional side and really see it as work and business. So you and I have a very good working relationship. I don't think we've ever had a fallout or anything. That's because there's a mutual respect and we both understand each other and we don't let the small things get in the way because we have an objective at the end of the day and we both want to achieve that. So yeah, you haven't seen me yet, but also we're both very passionate people. And I think when we talk, people think that we're maybe having a bit of a quarrel or something. And we're like, no, but I'm just very passionate about this. And Gary's also passionate about it. And so yeah, that for me would be how I say up people taking you the wrong way.
Well, thanks for that feedback. Chilufelo, I mean, you don't know me that long, but you've worked with me, you sat me in different meetings. The audience out there, because there might be a bunch of agents watching, it could be female agents, or it could be male agents. It really doesn't matter. Some people sometimes think when they see someone's persona for a minute or 2 minutes, that's the totality of their personality. And maybe you share, what has your experience been working with me in close proximity, on the phone, on projects, in meetings, etc.?
I think learning the separation between critique to you as a person and critique to your work. because I think when you cross the line, or if you are someone that takes things personally, you have to ask yourself, is this about my work or is this about me? And I have not experienced anything related to me as a person coming from you that is negative. You know how to read people, which jokes to make with whom, or which jokes won't land with certain people, because you have that experience in working in the real estate business. So you don't cross that line. But I think because you're a bold and big personality, people may not necessarily know how to interpret where something is coming from or where it's directed at. And it's never malicious, or it's never intended to harm the other individual. And you're not going to sugarcoat it. You're not going to dress it up in glitter. And that's okay. Like, just learning that, well, that's how he communicates. It's not a comment on my person. It's not an attack on my character. It just says, I have to fix this and I can improve on this. And then take it and run with it.
Yeah, we've got 3 minutes left. Thanks for that answer. Geraldine, a lot of agents are watching, and we are constantly recruiting at the moment. We want to grow to the largest independent real estate agency in South Africa that's founded by South Africans. Why would you recommend someone to join the Icon brand, be it in Joburg or Durban or Cape Town or Bloemfontein? Why would you recommend someone to join this brand as opposed to one of the top 5 or the top 10 brands in South Africa?
It's a really good question, Gary, and I think Icon's a really good fit for. It's not going to fit for everybody because we look for a certain caliber of people, and I think we've got the people here who want to be here and need to be here. So we have an awesome culture in this brand, and we want those people to fit in well here with that vision and that culture. And we've said it in multiple of our adverts, we're not here to put bums onto seats. We really invest in our agents, and I've seen how people have grown in a professional and a personal capacity with being at Icon Property Group. And a lot of other companies, not necessarily agencies, but companies in general, they just have an objective and they have, okay, you need 15 sales for the month and that's it. You haven't got your 15, out the door. And yes, sales is important, but you and Melissa do a lot more than just have agents sell. You have them grow and you work with them, alongside them, you mentor them. And that is unheard of in the real estate sector, because it's really just about sales and go and get as much as you can. Whatever you need to do, you do it to seal the deal. And that's not the culture that we have here. And I think it's a very pure and honest culture that we have. And yeah, I think that's why agents would thrive here, because we give them the best and then they produce the best.
That's lovely. Great answer. I mean, same question to you, Tulufelo. I mean, once again, for the audience, perhaps you're just logging on now, watching from this part, but Tulufelo has only been with the brand for about a month and a half. But Tulufelo, same question. Why would you recommend someone to be as a real estate broker with the Icon Property Group brand?
I would recommend Icon Property Group for a real estate broker, is because this is a place where you will belong. You belong as a whole human being, not just someone that, brings money at the end of the day. Yes, it's important for business, but who you are, your ambitions, your goals, those are the things that matter here. Those are the things that we want as people that are a part of Icon Property Group, is you as a whole human being. Where you from, where you coming from, where you are right now, where you going. Those are the things that we want to know about you, and we actively learn about you, because they contribute to us and we can contribute to your growth as well. So I've only been here for a month, but I can tell you now that the Tulufelo that arrived here the beginning of February and who she is today are two completely different people, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So that's just from my side. For agents that are looking to join Icon Property Group, you won't regret it at all.
Bonus question, and let me quickly ask you both a bonus question. And as we close off, Geraldine, one of your biggest fears that you had and that as a result of being within the Icon universe, you overcame that fear, and how has that positively impacted your life?
Sure. There's been quite a few. I mean, you've walked the journey with me. I think getting out of your comfort zone. And I remember we had a meeting the one morning, and we would said, "Oh yes, of course, the CEOs of the companies can go on holiday. Wow, obviously, I mean that's inevitable." And we had the meeting, and we said, "Yeah, but why can't you go on an overseas holiday, or why can't you buy a car?" And I started changing my mindset about actually, yes, I can. I don't have to be the CEO or the director of sales. I can do it myself. And we had the conversation when I first started here that I didn't have a car, and the fear was the financials, and there was so much going on. But you have to step out of that fear zone, like we said, in those circles, a comfort zone into the fear zone that leads to something else. And if I hadn't stepped out, I would still be in that same position. I would still be a little bit insecure, not so strong, or haven't grown. And by doing that stepping slowly and surely, look, 2 years later, I've just bought a car with with your guidance and the guidance of the people at Icon. And that's what I'm saying about culture, is that we support each other. So that the fear was the big thing of getting out of your comfort zone.
Mm. And I mean, when I was mentored, and I still remember sort of in the early 2000s, it was a lot about title, because your title would tell me who you are and how much money you sort of make. So if you ran into the national director of sales, you would think, okay, Porsche, blah, blah, blah. I find there's been a huge shift in that. Like, people now, they want the money, they want the position, that's fine, but they also want the business place or where they work to be a place where they have an experience. Chulufelo, you the younger one in this conversation, are you just looking for a title and money, or are you looking for an experiential moment, or a series of experiential moments within the workplace?
I think titles don't really affect me, or I don't think about them too much in my brain. It's not a thing of hierarchy. It's a matter of responsibility. Your title is the amount of workload on your table versus the amount of mine, but not necessarily that like you're above me, or you're better than me because of that title. I only have so much experience, so I will not obviously have a national director of sales title. However, my work as well still matters. Just that is not as much as the work on your table, but it is still important in the grand scheme of things. So that's how I view it. It's mostly of sharing of responsibility than it is hierarchy.
That's amazing. Now, Darylene, you want to ask me a question before we close off? What would be the one question you could ask me?
What is the most challenging experience that you find with agents coming in and out of companies, and why do you think they want to leave and keep jumping to the next company? They can never settle.
There's a number of reasons. People will say it's poor leadership. People will say onboarding wasn't correct. But one of the common things that I see hidden below those excuses is people are not willing to take full responsibility for their life. And the day you grow up is the day you take full responsibility for your life. That's the day you actually grow up. And sales, it's a very tough industry. And I find just a lot of agents, they just want to be at the bottom of the barrel. They talk about the top of the food chain, but they disengage from the actions needed to get there. So if you have to ask me my observation in my more than 2 decades of working with brokers, is people are not willing to undergo the necessary changes to become the best version of themselves. And the moment they are put in an environment where their excuses are called exactly that, I find a lot of them bail out. And a lot of people watching this is going to say, I'm hard, I'm not this, I'm not that, and whatever. And that's fine. But what I also do notice is that the people that are applying our methods and what we say they should do, they're moving forward. And it's those people that welcomes change. They welcome the hard work. They welcome the fact that they are not the be all and end all of everything. They need to change and they want to change. So yeah, that's really sort of what I see is they don't want to take responsibility for their life. They want someone else to take the responsibility for their life, and they want the benefits of the other person taking responsibility for their life. Yeah, that's the one thing. Chulufelo, what question would you ask me?
Does your brain switch off?
No.
and where do you find the drive every single day? Because your energy, you arrive at this level, and at the end of the day, your energy level stays there. I just want to know where your drive comes from to just go every single day and not get discouraged, or maybe you do get discouraged. We just don't see it here at the office. We just, see Gary that is always high energy, very intense, very ready to go. Everything is due yesterday. So yeah, that's what I want to know.
Well, I come from nothing. Yes, I did inherit a house from my dad, and I wasted it on rubbish. So let's not beat around the bush. But I fundamentally come from nothing. And I've seen what a little bit of action, a little bit of change can do for my life. And I realized that if I keep on taking the right actions and keep on changing and keep on empowering other people, my life is fundamentally changed. And I'm driven by that. I'm driven by the fact that if I wake up, take the right actions, and help other people, my life is forever improving for the better. And recently someone said to me, a wonderful woman, we had a meeting with her. She said, passion has no weight. And, light bulbs just went on for me. I'm extremely passionate about life. I love sales. I've always been a salesman. I love sales. I love selling. I love solving the problems and whatnot that comes with it. But I have a vigorous passion for people and for life. And also this company, I'm part of building a company that I do believe is going to change the face of real estate in South Africa and certain parts of the world, if not most parts of the world. And that really excites me, that my life will be remembered as one of the people that was part of building something that changed the course of world history. And that really excites me. And that really keeps me going. I'm not going to lie to you. And then also, when other people succeed, like recently, Geraldine bought a new car. I mean, I've got energy from that. Tamarin, Tamarin is moving forward. I get energy from that. Chulufelo, when you joined, I got energy from that. There's some wonderful reward that's beyond money when you live for the fulfillment of other people's dreams. That invigorates me on another level.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Gary.
So guys, thanks for being on the show. Thanks for watching. If you're watching, please like, subscribe, follow, and share. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear back from you. My name's Gary Phelps, Icon Property Group TV, and can't wait to see you next time. Bye for now.